Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, whoever's watching, listening to this, wherever you are. It is good to spend some time with you. This is the Three Good Guys podcast, and it's time to have some fun this morning. My name is Miles. To my right,
Rodney.
Or actually, that's my left. I'm gonna learn my left
it's
and right
all
one
good.
Of these days.
You figure it
to
out.
my
Dallas
far
public
left.
school system for you. Leonard.
All right.
Or independent school system. Dallas independent school system.
Okay. I mean, we both went to the same school. Same. Yeah. So
he said you didn't graduate in the same class.
Let's hop into a good time. But before we do, I just want to do a quick check-in, brothers. How y'all feeling today?
Oh man, I'm feeling great.
Fantastic.
Yeah,
Yeah, fantastic.
God is good. God is great.
Shooting on a Sunday, that's different.
Uh-huh.
Getting it done.
Yeah, getting it done. Y'all, I ain't gonna lie. So my brother gave them the sermon this morning in church. This guy over here, and he did a good job. I'm not gonna lie.
To God be the glory.
I'm not gonna say no
glory.
names, and this is no disrespect to anybody.
Uh-oh.
No, seriously, it's no disrespect to anybody. Actually, it's only love to this person, right? But somebody just saw Philip Anthony Mitchell the night before, and then they heard my brother speak today, and he said, "Man, you gave a better word than Philip Anthony Mitchell." That's what he said.
To God be the glory. That's all I'm ever gonna say.
That's what he said. So yeah, no, it's just good to hear a good word, and it's also really cool for that word to come from family.
Shout out to Philip though.
Shout out to Philip Anthony Mitchell. Somebody I want to speak to that brother soon. You know.
Yeah, getting him on your How Pastors Are Made would be dope.
Yeah,
Definitely.
and I think he's dope. He's clearly doing something amazing down there in Atlanta. So yeah, I'm looking forward to it. You'll get an email from me. My people will talk to your people, and we get
exactly.
His people is just him. Anyways,
No, actually, my people is not just me.
No, we're also his people. You know, we're extension of
No,
His
I have
people is
actual
brethren.
people.
His people is him.
I got
okay.
people who
You
send
got reps.
emails on my behalf.
You know
what I'm saying?
You know, people be having their company. They be like, "Yeah, we." I'm like, "There's no we in your company."
That's hilarious.
It's just you.
I have a we in my company. American we's in my company too.
Okay.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Make America great again.
I almost said what
We'll
you
get
said
into that
last
later.
week.
Anyway, I wanted to start off with a game. I saw this little game on TikTok. It was pretty fun. I played it with some of my brothers earlier, but since you wasn't here, I gotta give you the rules. So what we're gonna do is, on the count of three, you're just gonna say the first word that comes to mind. Just the first word that comes to mind. All right. So you got your word. You got your word.
So we locking it in already.
Lock it in. Lock
Okay.
it in. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Basketball.
Podcast.
All right. You said what?
Podcast.
Podcast.
Apple.
Apple. And I said basketball. All right. Now taking those three things, we have to say this first word that come to mind.
Okay, so we're trying to say the same word.
We're trying to get on the same.
Okay, so Apple
Apple.
podcast, basketball. Okay, I got something.
Oh.
Am I allowed to say what I'm thinking, or just say the word?
You just gotta say.
Okay, I'm just say the word. I'm not gonna tell you what I'm thinking.
The word.
And this might not get us there, but I think it'll do the connection. Right?
All right.
All right.
On three. 1, 2, 3.
New York
Podcast.
Wait.
Why would you? You can't say podcast again.
Why would you go
This
backwards?
man is cooked. I don't know what's going on.
I ain't gonna lie. When we played it earlier, we did not win with him. We took him out the game.
The
We got it right.
The only time we all said the same thing was with me.
When you came back at the end. We
Yeah,
had to
it
go
was-
a couple rounds
it
without
was
him. We
with
got
me.
it right.
So
All right,
I
where
was
we at?
hearing Apple. I hear basketball. So I said Big Apple, New York.
Yeah.
Basketball, New York Knicks.
All right.
I was
so
thinking-
he got the Knicks.
I was thinking a
What did you say?
Apple
He said
podcast show
he
about
said
basketball.
podcast. again.
I said YouTube.
But didn't
Boy, you
somebody say
said
podcast in
yeah,
the same?
somebody-
We got to start over.
We'll start all over again.
No,
all right.
okay.
Yeah,
Man,
all
listen,
right, we'll
listen.
try this
Look,
again.
we
All right,
gotta go
here,
again.
all right.
Here we go. Come on.
This
man.
guy-
I was thinking
all right.
Apple.
Don't
podcast
read-
about
You can't
basketball
repeat the
on
same
Don't
word.
redo
Apple,
words.
though.
Don't
Okay.
redo words.
Can't do the same
All right,
word.
On 3. 1, 2, 3. Lakers.
Media.
You never say nothing.
Green. That's what I had in my head.
Lakers.
I had green.
Okay. Green. Lakers.
I said media.
Oh, why? You have the most
Mm.
wide
All right.
things. All right, green, Lakers, media.
All right.
Okay. I got.
All right. Lock
All
it
right.
in. Ready?
All right.
1, 2, 3.
Celtics.
Hey, you out the group. bro.
Terrible, man.
I thought you
Somebody
said
say, nah,
ESPN.
somebody say Lakers, somebody say green. It's Celtics. It's
Yeah,
gonna be Celtics, bro.
Exactly.
That's hilarious.
All right,
I
we
mean,
won.
yeah,
We got it.
yeah,
on-
it's
we
okay.
got it
We-
twice. Yeah, it's you.
Yeah.
It is what
It's
it
you.
is.
It's
Just
a you
as he
thing.
said before, he has his own people, and it's just
I got my own people. You know what I'm saying? It'd be a little different. Hey, I ain't gonna lie to
I
you.
thought Celtics was a shoe.
that was a
bro.
shoe-in,
That was like
easily.
Nah.
Lakers green. I said, you only
I
got one
didn't- I
direction to
didn't
go
even-
from there.
I'm an actual Lakers fan. I don't think about the Celtics. They don't come up. You know what I'm saying? It's not a thing.
All right, cool. That's
But,
a great way to cop out of
Yeah,
that.
It is,
nobody's
right?
that
Yeah.
committed unless you're getting a Lakers check.
I am. So, first of all, that's the game that y'all should play. I'm not gonna lie. Earlier
that's pretty
today,
fun.
we didn't know what was going on because he didn't really explain it to us. He was just like, just say the first word. So he did, and then we did another round,
Guess
and none of our words were
guess
similar
what
at
word
all.
we ended up landing on that we all three of us got? Lakers.
Lakers was the word we all said.
That's funny, huh?
So,
When
yeah.
I played with my wife, we got it right on the first try.
yeah, well,
We did 1, 2, 3 tacos.
Yeah.
It was
Must
hilarious.
have been taco night at
Yeah,
that.
It was hilarious.
It was a Tuesday.
Yeah.
It was hilarious. It was
Yeah.
like
It
1,
was
2, 3
Tuesday.
tacos. All right.
Yeah, so let's hop into some got a kind of different conversation today,
Mhm.
or question to start off with at least. There are some people who have podcasts, and these people are not always the most widely accepted.
Mm.
There's a group of people known as incels,
I just found out about these.
and
What do incels mean?
oh
Miles?
wow,
Break
this
it
is
down
where
for
we're
the
going
people.
today. Okay, so an incel is defined as a person who is involuntarily celibate.
Does that mean somebody with no game?
It means
that
you
what
got
it
no
means?
game, you got no riz.
Let's not down talk them now. Let's.
I know I'm asking. Is that what it means?
For
You know what I'm
whatever
saying?
reason,
Here we go, man. I'm the
you
defender.
can't get what you want to get, and your son is talking to you.
Yeah, he all right.
But anyways, so folks like them, when they get a podcast, sometimes people don't like the kind of things that they say.
What would you say?
Well, oftentimes people in that predicament, they just really don't like the people that they can't be with, but they want to be with, so they say bad things about them.
They're going about it the wrong way. That's why they're involuntarily.
So,
You're supposed to say good things about them.
so
then they wanna be
anyways,
with
my
you.
question is it okay for folks who sometimes have what most would perceive negative opinions
So it's
to have
basically
podcasts?
it's basically like a hate podcast, basically.
It could be perceived
It
as
could
that.
be
It might
perceived
not
as
be
that, for sure.
It might not even be them specifically. Could be someone else in a totally different situation, speaking in ways that we don't like.
Well, because I live in Donald Trump's America, I do believe in free speech.
Oh wow.
So
Oh,
I mean,
wow.
as long as they're not threatening anyone, I do believe they should have a right to speak.
I mean, I'm not asking about the right. Of course, they have the right, but I'm saying like,
I mean, I
Should-
thought the question was, should they have
should
it?
they act on that right?
No, they should seek counseling and
Sure.
therapy is what they should do.
No, sure they should. And this is the thing. I think everything is not for everyone. And, if they feel like they have a community and a outpouring of people that want to hear what they have to say, then, by all means,
Community
if
of
you're gonna,
losers.
by all means, like, do your thing, and you'll get some traction that way. How do I feel about the whole community and within itself and like its rhetoric? I don't know. I think they qualify a lot of things as incels when sometimes they're not.
Yeah, I don't know.
Like
what
that word,
actual
like a lot of these
incel
new
rhetoric
words,
is.
a lot of these new words and new phrases that we haven't used before, like get overused. Like
All of them.
how many times you hear gaslighting and narcissist?
I
and-
know.
and
Everybody's a
incel.
narcissist.
And
Like-
nobody even knows what gaslight means.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like you hear that way too much, and people don't even know what they're talking about half the time. And then too, a lot of people are like for instance, the biggest I guess. Well, we'll talk about the show in a second.
Yeah, we
but
can talk about it now.
they mentioned in a show called Adolescence.
Yeah.
Andrew Tate, like he's brought up a lot in it, and like he's supposed to be the spokesperson for incels. And I'm just like, well, if you think about Andrew Tate as a person, he's not involuntarily celibate, so he's not an incel.
And that's what I didn't understand.
So
They were
I-
talking about involuntary celibate, and then Andrew Tatum like, that don't add up.
That's
the
not
exact
doesn't correlate. But here's
Yeah, the
the
opposite,
correlation
yeah.
is this. The correlation is Andrew Tate's rhetoric. A lot of times he talks about how women are, shallow or certain things, and they don't pay attention to, they'll, good-looking women don't pay attention to like the cashier that's at Walgreens or whatever that checked them out or whatever. Like they won't even remember him. They won't give him the time of day. And so he talks about those quote unquote realities. And then incels take that information, people who he may be referring to, and say, yeah, see, I'm just too ugly, too unattractive, too not appealing to have anybody. So I think some of his stuff can reinforce things that they already think about in their mind, but that guy isn't an incel, so I don't know how he's a spokesperson of incel.
Yeah, because
Literally, he's
Andrew Tate's all about
trafficker.
women. Yeah.
I mean,
didn't
you know,
wanna go that far, but that's it. Yeah,
you
it's all
know,
about women,
allegedly,
so-
you
Allegedly.
know,
This is the
allegedly,
allegedly podcast.
Yeah,
Uh,
there's no celibacy
Everything we say here is
going on
alleged.
there.
exactly.
Allegedly, yeah. So
And so to be involuntarily celibate is kind of a weird thing to say in itself. It's
it
just
just
basically
means you
saying,
got no
it's saying
game
like
at
they're
all.
like if it was their
Riz-free.
choice, they would, but
Riz
they
free.
literally they think they literally can't. They literally think it's impossible for somebody to be.
And somebody like that just needs
attracted to-
therapy, man.
And the thing about it is, if you keep like your words are powerful. If you keep speaking that over yourself, like I'm an incel, like no one ever is gonna love me, then I mean,
Question:
you're gonna put that energy out there.
Do incels ever actually say, "Dang, I'm an incel"?
I think
Well,
that's the
I
point
mean,
of
the-
being one, right?
Yeah, the
I don't
people-
think you like sign up to be one though. Like,
I
sure.
just think you just have life experiences, and then you just go all into it. I think you're like, well, I must be.
It's just what happens is when you give a name to a mentality, then that's what people start to like. They start
Yeah,
to
they identify as it.
identify as
Yeah.
it. And I think a lot of these guys would never call themselves that in the past. They would just say, I just don't have a good, I'm not really good with the
This
ladies.
is not
But now,
something- like growing up around me, something like you get made fun of, right, for like having no game. So you
Mhm.
would not then lean into not having game. You go and get some game. You know what I'm
yeah,
saying?
or at least
This
fake
is
it
what
till you
happen-
make it.
This is
you
what
know?
happened when you take bullying out of schools. All right.
so
Mhm.
let me get this straight for the
Bullying
camera.
is still alive and
Hold
well.
on,
It's just
hold
a
on.
different way.
Let me make sure we get this absolutely clear on camera.
Mhm.
You are pro bullying.
As long as it's not like harmful. Yeah. I'm
Well, hold on, wait.
pro being.
Isn't
I'm pro,
bullying by definition harmful?
Yeah.
I'm pro telling the truth to people. Sometimes people see
Telling
that
the
as
truth
bullying.
isn't bullying.
Exactly.
The,
That's why
the
I said
truth
it's
isn't
some
always
people-
nice. The truth isn't always fun.
Exactly.
But telling the truth isn't bullying.
Exactly. Like, for case in point, if you tell your friend, like, bro, your breath stink, they gonna think about that next time and make sure their breath don't
Yeah,
stink.
that ain't. That
But
ain't
that's
bullying.
not bullying.
I know, but some people would. That's why I say like bullying needs to happen.
Mhm.
Like,
Now, if you were to say, like, call him mushmouth or like say something crazy,
yeah,
like taking the truth
and going out of your
and
way to
bolster
attack
it,
them.
to
That's
attack
different.
them.
Nah,
And
I
absolutely,
don't like
and
that kind of stuff.
And then coming
Yeah,
back
or
3
yuck
weeks later
mouth. That's
talking
that's the word I
about
was going
but-
for.
how terrible
But
his
you should
breath
always
smells.
be honest with your friends. Like,
You need
Yeah,
to take
for
that.
sure.
you know?
Absolutely.
I had to be honest with myself, bro. I was like, I am fat.
Bro, I
Yeah.
said that the other day. I
You know
started
what I'm
working
saying?
out.
You gotta be honest.
I
A
started
little
doing
bit of
sit-ups in the
honesty is
bed,
good.
bro.
Exactly.
In the bed. I didn't even get up yet.
Yeah.
That's some fat
I'm a
people
little
stuff.
robust.
That's some fat people stuff. How
Nah,
you
I
sit up
was-
in the bed?
No, so
This
look,
is the
listen,
fattest
listen.
thing I heard.
had a
He
speaking
did a
engagement.
relaxed sit up.
Listen, this what happened for real. Had a
I'ma do it
speaking
in the
engagement
bed.
recently, right?
Mhm.
And I got some pictures back from the engagement, and I was in bed, and I looked at the pictures, and I was like, "Yo, I could see my stomach through the shirt, and I ain't never experienced that before."
Mhm.
So I was like,
Welcome
right
to the
where I
club.
was, I was like, "Nah, we gon' start doing something."
Nah, I feel like I got some
Right
shirts I don't
now.
even wear no more. Cause I be like,
Mhm.
I just don't like the way that.
Yeah,
looks.
so
Yeah, this has been my experience for the past few years.
It's been mine for about a year now. I
Yeah, this
blame my
is-
wife.
this is new to me.
Oh,
Think
for
about it, I've
sure.
been married for about a year.
100%.
Yeah,
That's who I
definitely.
blame for sure.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
hmm I got a wife, so there's no incel over here.
Yeah.
In case you're wondering,
Mhm.
not me.
But yeah, let's kind of talk a little bit about the
Adolescence.
movie.
Okay,
So,
let me hear. Oh,
so
you
my
wanna
opinion.
explain it first?
Yeah,
or-
well,
what- 'cause I
I'll
haven't
kind
seen
of
it. I
explain
don't
it.
know what this
Obviously,
is.
okay, I have not finished the last episode. I kind of just
it's
started
4
it.
episodes. I watched all 4 of them.
So it's basically about a murder that
Takes
happens,
place.
that
Uh-huh.
takes place,
Y'all have any
and
happy TV shows?
Plenty.
yeah, it's tons.
Yeah.
Or is this like everything I've been hearing from
This
y'all
isn't
recently,
one.
Just,
Yeah, this ain't it.
This
yeah,
is- this
this
isn't
is
one.
dark.
Okay, go ahead.
So there's a murder that happens. Of course, it takes place in the UK. So the accents
And they
kind
talk funny.
Yeah, the accents kind of get me a little bit. Kind of
Alright, bruv.
makes it a little bit aggravating, or a little bit more aggravating than.
That's why
It
Jenna
would
stopped
be.
watching it. She was like, I can't deal with these accents. Their
Yeah,
accents
nah.
are hilarious.
It's all good though. But once you get into it, you're fine. But yeah, so a murder takes place in I believe it's like a middle school, or I don't know what their classifications are in the UK, but it looks like middle school
He's
aged
13.
kids, 13.
Yeah,
Okay,
13.
yeah. And so there's a kid who is accused of doing it on the first episode. He's in there with his father. They're kind of, going over with him. He looks like a sad kid. He's, frustrated or everything. He keeps denying everything. And then it kind of goes on, and he goes on to the school, and you experience all the kids acting crazy and talking about it and having emotional responses and everything, saying a lot of crazy stuff. One of the kids, who actually ends up being the detective that's going through everything's son, kind of explains how the person the young boy who's accused of murdering a young girl was being bullied by her, basically.
Mhm.
And she was calling him an incel and stuff like
And
that.
that's how I heard about incel. I didn't know.
That was your
By
first
the
time
way,
hearing anything about it?
Yeah, but I'm like, dude's 13.
That's crazy.
I mean, he
Of
ain't got a
course
lot of
he's an
options.
incel.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I think it's kind of a study on the fact of how social media affects kids in such a way. Like,
Definitely.
they're kids. Like, you're 13. Who cares if you
Yeah.
haven't experienced that
You
stuff?
should
You
not
shouldn't
be
be
experiencing
experiencing that.
Yeah. If you are,
Um,
we need to call social services.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So, yeah, like you probably, you haven't even hit puberty all the way yet.
Yeah. Yeah. 13.
You
yeah.
don't got any chest hair. There's
Yeah.
nothing going
Nothing.
on.
Voice still high pitch.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So, yeah. So basically, they're getting bullied about something that they shouldn't even be experiencing or even having to go through.
Mhm.
And so, yeah, it develops. He ends up talking to a therapist, or I'm not sure, a therapist or somebody, a behavioral
therapist.
analyst or something. She's supposed to try to figure out where his mentality is before his
Mhm.
trial. And at first, the first episode, you think the kid's like a little bit timid or whatever. Like, this kid is crazy.
He cussed her something.
He cussed her
smooth,
out
didn't
like
he?
about 4 times, getting up, like flinched at her like he was gonna hit her.
Oh,
Like,
you're afraid of a 13-year-old boy.
yeah, saying all
Yeah,
kinds
he
of
was
crazy
wild.
stuff. And I'm just like, this is like a crazy exaggeration of what I think would actually happen.
Yeah.
I mean, not to say that there isn't kids out there doing crazy stuff like that.
But that kid need a whooping.
Yeah,
Yeah, definitely.
yeah.
I bet you he didn't get whoopings growing up.
Nah,
I guarantee it.
that's a guarantee. But yeah, and it kind of talks about how the effects of everything with the family and his father, and it talks about masculinity in quote unquote toxic masculinity, and of
Mhm.
course they mention the Andrew Tate thing, and it like one of the teachers is like, oh no, they listen to all this Andrew Tate rhetoric, and,
And
that's what makes them do all
But
this
that's what
stuff.
threw me off, because Andrew Tate's all about being top G and having the world, which includes girls. You know what I'm saying? So
Mhm.
it's like, I don't get how.
Yeah, I mean, most of he has some crazy quotes and
Well, I believe it. I'm not an Andrew Tate
crazy
fan,
stuff.
by
I'm not a
far,
fan of Andrew Tate as a person, but if you look at the majority of what he talks about, it's not really that stuff that they mention. But of course, what is popular and what gets replayed and everything is going to be the negative stuff. I mean, that's just what's going to happen. So am I endorsing Andrew Tate on the podcast? Absolutely not. But feel free to come on the podcast if you want.
Because if we can get a feature,
Yeah.
we can use the numbers.
You can pull up. Exactly.
So
you
what
know.
is it? Shout out Andrew now.
Yeah, shout out to him.
We gotta do.
Listen, man. Shout out to him. Shout out to
Interview somebody strange for some views.
For sure.
That was funny.
Yeah.
Anyways, what did you think of the show?
I think the show is kind of poorly done. I haven't finished the last episode, but I just feel like it's just a major exaggeration. I think it was more so of a tool to like, I don't know, to
The
try
show
to
was
trounce
trash.
on the incel.
The show was absolute.
It was
garbage.
the word is divisive. That's
here's-
what it was.
Here's
It was
why
very
it's
divisive.
garbage, and I do feel what you're saying. I'll come back to that, but here's why
Mhm.
it's garbage. Episode 1, he's like, I didn't do it. They showed a video of him doing it.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So why do we have 3 more episodes? For what? There's no plot twist. There's no, I didn't do it. Oh, that was somebody dressed like me. Nothing. He did it in episode 1. I don't need 3 episodes to find out he got bullied.
He just did it.
He just did it
Yeah.
because she bullied him. So he did it.
You know,
Mhm.
that's something we can talk
But
about.
what you're saying, when I finished it, mad that I sat there and waited for a plot twist, just one plot twist, please.
I'm glad you.
And there
let me
was
know.
none at no point in time. The last episode just ends with him, the dad and the mom, like sitting on the bed, just saying like, "Oh, we should have seen this coming. We should have paid more attention." Blah 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 blah.
Wow.
I
That's
think
pretty
that
trash.
show was like somebody's fears made into a TV show.
Yeah.
Like what they fear what would happen to
Yeah.
a kid.
That's
'Cause he
like the
basically went online and
absolute
got
worst
he
case
got
scenario.
What is it called? What is it called?
Radicalized.
Radicalized. Thank you. I appreciate that. So yeah, he went online and got radicalized, and basically that the show was like somebody's fears. Like,
Yeah.
oh, somebody can go on and see Andrew Tate and do. And I'm not saying they not, because I mean that's what happens. People go online, they get radicalized.
And then get radicalized by all kinds of
But yeah, that's what it was, and it did not make for good TV at all. It was boring.
Well, that's just unfortunate. I really was hoping for
Was
some
you
type
waiting
of
for
plot
one
twist,
plot twist?
or something.
One like,
And
I
then,
was like, maybe
oh
somebody
wait,
was
wait a
wearing his
minute.
clothes
This
or
is what made
Glad
me
y'all didn't
laugh
tell
in
me
the.
about
I think
the
it's the
show.
third episode where the detective guy was chasing the dude, the kid, and he
took
went
off
out,
running. So I
and
thought
they
he
were
did it
jogging. No, hold on. No, what pissed me off was they were jogging the whole time.
the whole time.
I'm like, nobody's even running full speed. You can
Nobody's
catch
running.
him. That was
And
just,
then he was complaining about, I haven't ran in forever. We can tell.
dude.
But I
They're
thought,
literally like, okay, if if I'm trying to get away from the police, I'm not jogging. I'm going to sprint.
and you're gonna
okay?
hear.
Yeah, they were not walking. They were not running full speed at all. Like literally, it looks like they're just playing. Like I don't know. It was ridiculous. That's when I was okay. Production quality not the best on this
Well,
on the show.
it's because
That should have been the.
Yeah, because I saw it was shot like one shot style or whatever. So
Uh-huh.
they couldn't. They would have to have the camera moving like that. You know what I'm saying? So they was probably
Yeah,
on that
it
little
was a
slow
waste.
trail or whatever. I don't know.
They could have sped it up or something. I don't know.
It was
just
not-
kind of lazy.
It just wasn't good TV.
Yeah, it wasn't good TV at
It
all.
wasn't. It wasn't good TV. I saw one person loved it though, and they were just saying like, you got to watch what your kids do, and I feel that.
It gives me like 13 Reasons Why
Oh,
vibes.
when I say I hated 13
That
Reasons
show
Why,
sucked.
I only watched it because I was dating somebody at
That
the time.
show
and was
sucked.
like, I want you to watch it. But I'm like, you sat here and recorded 13 tapes as to why you're going to commit suicide. Sometime between tape number 2 and 10, you should have been like, all right, let me go get some help. You know what I'm saying? That is a lot of tape recording.
That's just not reality.
That's a lot of tape recording.
Those two shows are something that's terrible in America right now. I know one of them is set in another country, but
Yeah.
But
I live in
we're watching
America,
it out here.
so I talk about America. Yeah, mental health is a terrible thing, and I think we're making it worse. Like,
Exactly.
We are.
all the stuff that's supposed to help is not helping at all, and it actually made me think of the. I don't know if y'all been on Instagram lately, but what's her name? Rockwell, the capacity expert.
Never heard of them.
So this therapist lady that's been on Instagram, yo, she's going crazy right now. First of all, her account's blown up. She got a few 100,000 followers now. But what she's been doing is posting videos about mental health and therapy and stuff, and saying how people are failing. She was like, you think that being what was she saying? Give me a second. Pretty much she was saying like, you think that being mentally strong is running away every time something happens, but that means you're mentally weak. If you are strong,
I seen this person.
yeah, she's like, if you're
I
strong, then
reposted this
you
person
should be able to
because I
withstand
was like,
things
it's
going
about
wrong.
time somebody said this stuff.
Exactly.
You know what's one of the weakest things you see on the internet nowadays is when people record themselves crying.
That's
Then
crazy.
play
to
it
me.
back, watch it like, yeah, that's
And
the
then
one.
edit it.
Edit it.
And
edit
then
it,
post
and
it.
then upload it. I'm like, yo,
Maybe
I
maybe
don't-
they don't edit in post.
if you
They
had,
edit and post.
crazy.
Yo,
Miles.
I'm
They
sorry.
definitely
If
do
you
it.
got enough time to play it back, make sure it's good, make sure all the tears was right, add the little words to it. You know what I'm saying?
Add the music behind
the
everything.
the music in the background, put a filter on it, and then I'm like, yo,
Like, look, world, feel sorry for me. And I'm just like,
that's
man,
intense.
that's a lot. Now, of course, a lot of times, whatever does happen is tragic and it is crazy.
Yeah,
But I don't know. I can't mentally get there. If I'm sad, if I'm crying, like, I don't want a camera in my face.
I'm just thinking
and I'm not gonna put it in my like.
some of the
I'm not gonna
saddest.
I'm not gonna
in
do
my
it
face.
myself. You
some
know
of
what
the
I mean?
saddest stuff I've been through. I'm just thinking about it, right? And when I went through those situations, not once did I say, "Let me get a camera and show the world that I'm crying."
I
I
think,
remember one time I was crying and I didn't know Miles was in the room. I was crying. And I was like, "You okay?" I was like, "Dude, get out!" Like that's when I'm crying.
Yeah.
I don't want you in here with me while I'm crying.
But maybe I think there is an exception. Sometimes there is
If
something.
you're a woman,
Well,
Okay,
even most
whatever.
of those, I don't even know. But no, sometimes there is something that you probably should say, and if you get worked up in the midst of saying it,
that's completely different, bro.
Yeah,
That's
I
completely
get if
different.
somebody's going online
And you're talking and you get
and
emotional.
they're talking about a story or something that happens and
completely
they're
different.
crying or like, because a lot of times you'll see videos like, hey, I've been trying to make this video like forever, but I just keep, breaking down. I can't finish
Yeah,
it
completely
because
different.
they're trying to explain something. But it'll literally be like a video
of just crying.
just crying,
That's
like
all
no
the video is.
exposition.
And
no
it's got the
anything.
little words on it. You know what I'm saying? And they
you
just
know
crying.
what? I saw that. I saw like an uptick in those kind of videos
Mm-hmm.
during this last election. After that first day after the election, it was a bunch of people just
Man,
crying and crashing out.
Listen, I enjoyed this election, yo.
oh man! But before we
I-
get into that, I wanted to talk about one more thing in regards to that. It's so there was a guy I found on Instagram, and I meant to send this to you guys, and I completely forgot. So I'm gonna try to see if I can find it while I'm talking about it. But he basically has like some severe depression, and he posts. He's like a popular like artist, and he like lives out of the country and stuff like that, and he does like art galleries and all kinds of different things, and he makes good money and everything.
Mm-hmm.
But he's in such a depressive state that he is going to, and I guess in New Zealand there's a way that you can, like have a voluntary suicide thing,
I heard.
and
about
like
that.
you can
That's
set
intense.
a date. You can basically set a date to where you're going to kill yourself, basically, with some type of chemical or whatever,
Mhm.
and yeah, they give that option. I believe it's in New Zealand or somewhere.
I'm
over
sorry to hear that.
there. And so it's crazy. And so he's documenting. He already has his date set and everything, and he's documenting everything in regards to it. And he's doing these dinners where he goes and eats dinner with people that register for him to eat dinner with them, and they have conversations about everything. And I was listening to the guy. The guy's a very smart guy, very well put together for the most part. And I'm like wondering what he has all this life advice and stuff like that. I'm like, so you have all this, but like, what is pushing you to still want to do this? And from what I've seen so far, he still has not, went off of that track. Maybe because it's profitable now, or a little bit more. I don't know.
Yeah.
Are people paying for these dinners?
Yeah. So
Yes.
they're
Like what I was wondering.
Well, hold on now.
'Cause
I was feeling bad for him for a second, but he might be on to something.
there's
I gotta
two
find him.
things.
Uh-huh.
One, if he's actually just on his road to this, why are we just entertained
Yeah,
by
why we
his?
entertain exactly? I honestly
his
feel bad for him.
suicidal
I hope
mission.
someone will talk to him and tell him that
That's
his life
sad.
has purpose.
Yeah, exactly.
Exactly.
Like,
Yeah.
brother, you're loved, you're needed. You know what I'm saying? But the only other option is he found a way to gain a following.
Yeah,
I think it's also a control thing. I saw him mention something about like ending life on his own terms, something in and around
it's
that.
just
I
such
don't
a
want to
final
misquote him.
decision, though. You
It's
know
yeah.
what I'm
very,
saying?
very final. It's more final
such
than a
final
tattoo.
decision.
Yeah,
Yeah. Now, if he's really planning on going through what, I do hope and pray that someone speaks to him and let him know that he's valued. Every human is valued.
I'm just hearing about this, so I hope the people that see his content put some words in the comments that are more than just entertained by his wisdom as he goes. And
Yeah.
yeah. A ton of people are, and he posts about that, and they, I mean, they've gotten to such a point to where they're saying like, I know this isn't gonna help you change your decision, but blah 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 blah. And everything, because he constantly gets that type of feedback. And I will find his Instagram channel. We'll bring this up again so you guys can kind of look at it, and I really want
Yeah,
your
send it to
opinions
me
on
for
it
sure.
because
Yeah.
it's super interesting, and I kind of like it put me on a rabbit hole of looking at all his content to see where he started from and then where he's at now. But yeah,
that's
it
some of the
is-
darkest stuff I've ever heard.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy.
It's
Like
getting
that's
a little
pretty much
dark
like
today.
make a TV show out of my journey
But there's like,
to self-deletion.
yeah, pretty much. Yeah, I don't know how I
That's
feel
crazy.
about that. That's kind of, I mean, not kind of. Like I get the sense of emotional connection that he has with these people that feel they're in downtrodden. Like he really speaks to that a lot. But to me, it's like it's a trick of the enemy, and it's
Yeah.
like it's a little bit worrisome to me that people are so delved into it now. Of course, a part of me is just like, well, there's some people who genuinely probably just want to connect with him, and they want to save him, but like they don't want to push too much and like be like, hey, you're going to hell if you do this and everything. But it's just like, I mean, there's realities to things. There's just, unfortunately, but I don't know. It's just really tough. I want y'all to look at it. I'm gonna send y'all the info on it.
Yes,
And then
that's interesting. That's
yeah,
man, that's dark. See what happened when you watch that Adolescence? Just darkness
Man,
comes. That's
crazy
why I
stuff.
do not recommend that show.
I don't. I never
yeah,
seen the episode.
yeah. I'm glad you went ahead and told me what the last episode
There's
is, so
no
I don't
plot
have to watch it.
twist.
Yeah,
There was no plot twist.
yeah. I was already kind of through with it. Like after that episode before the last, the third episode, I'm like, so he just gets to say whatever he wants
I don't
to say.
watch that stuff. I watch entertaining stuff like tonight's conversations. Okay,
Oh man, here we go with that.
that's a kind of.
It is kind of entertaining though.
It's very
I do, it's
entertaining. I
very
mean, they got
entertaining.
Actually,
a million.
I've never actually
Followers.
listened
I
to
don't
a
know
whole
how many followers they
podcast
got.
or
You never watched?
show thing.
Oh, okay. I'm the same.
I've
I've
only
never
watched
watched
some
the
of the
whole show. I only
clips.
watched clips. You're right. You're
I've
right.
only
You're right.
watched
I've
some of
only
the
watched
clips.
clips.
Mhm.
and I know this is something you were thinking. One of the funniest things to me is the questions that get asked. Because I'm oftentimes like, there's not a way you're 35. You're 40
Every
and this
time
is
I
what you're
watch that
asking.
show, it reminds me why people are single.
Goodness gracious.
And I'd be like, oh, okay, there's a reason. Because I'll be seeing people, they come up and be like, oh, you look like a nice person. I sure hope you find somebody. And then they start talking about, oh, yeah, you deserve to be single for sure. Absolutely.
Goodness
The question.
gracious.
Like, the questions they ask.
single.
Listen, this one lady said she'd been married. I could have the number of years wrong. She was like, I've been married for like 15 years, and I've had a side guy for all 15 years, and my husband just found out. How do I get him to agree with me having them?
Oh my
This person.
goodness.
And of course, Kitty, the voice of reason, she was like, you're not getting him to agree. You're trying to manipulate him. I'm like, yeah, because what? Like, and I'm like, why are these questions? These should be questions
But, like,
on a TV
so
show,
here's the
not
thing.
in real life.
A question like that, do you really not know that he's not going to agree to that? Are you really unaware that he don't want that? Could you not tell by his hurt, his anger, his heartbreak when he found out that that's not something he's okay
If the
with?
fact that you had to hide it for 15 years doesn't explain it for you, then like I don't know what else will.
Yeah.
Like if you feel like you're trying to get him to accept it, it's just like you shouldn't have been doing it. Like I don't know. People don't really commitments and vows and stuff. People.
And I'm not trying to talk bad about the podcast because I find the podcast highly entertaining.
Mm-hmm.
But the questions that come on there, like,
Yeah.
do those questions seem like questions from smart individuals?
No,
And again, I'm not even gonna say that because I could have been.
I'm gonna just say
Yeah.
no.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And-
I be
and-
watching those questions like, I be like, did you just ask that? Like, oh, I see why you single.
Yeah.
I get it. It makes sense.
Yeah,
But I mean, you can just tell what people surround themselves with. They don't surround themselves with sound-minded
Mhm.
folks most of the time, or they're just so like delved into themselves and like that they don't really care.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah,
I
that's
listen
really
to some of the clips sometimes, and I don't see a lot of them, but I have seen them, and I'd be like, "Y'all need Jesus."
That's all.
Like that. That's really how I be
a little
feeling.
Jesus
That's the
go a
answer
long
for
way.
everything.
Nah, but like for real, like sometimes people say some stuff and be like, "Oh, you need Jesus." Like
That's
you,
really it.
like you really need Jesus.
Because these people have spent years convincing themselves that what they're doing is okay,
Crazy.
and it's just like, man, you really do need Jesus because you've created all the excuses in your mind. Like there's so many, it's so many like excuses people come up with to not just blame themselves and just to really look inward, and that's literally what Jesus does for you. He's like, look, I'm perfect. Here's a guide. This guide is going to be like a mirror to your life. It's going to show you yourself, show you that you need me
Yeah.
desperately. And then now you can start diving into actually fixing the issue because the issue is you,
No,
my
'cause,
friend.
when I watch,
And
when
not
I
all
watch
these other
it,
situations.
You're right. I really be like, well, if we was just following God's plan, you wouldn't be in this situation.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, there's so much that's like that.
You just wouldn't be in this situation.
So much.
And guys, we're not perfect.
No.
There's
means.
ways we fall short, like a ton,
Yeah.
because we're just not doing it the way God want to see. We get too much
But-
in our own mind.
But you sit back, you
Exactly.
readjust, and you try again.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's pretty bad. It's pretty bad. But y'all know who else needs Jesus? Because I'm gonna segue one more time.
Mm.
These Dallas Mavericks. Goodness gracious.
Man.
They need a healing desperately.
Yo,
You gonna make
okay,
all
so I'm gonna tell you this. When I first heard the trade, I was like, "Why did the Lakers?" I mean, not why.
Why did the
let
Lakers?
me not let me not say that. I messed up. I was like, "Why did the Mavericks let go of their future?" And I was like, "I don't understand why they did it." And then when you watch it play out, it's even worse
It's way worse.
than what you thought it would have been.
It's
The
crazy.
Mavericks have no future. There's no future plan for the Mavericks.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what they're. I don't know.
it's
Maybe their
winning
goal
our-
was we're gonna win a championship this year. Like I don't.
They had
see
a good
AD
chance.
No,
Everybody healthy.
better than Luca,
I
but I
agree
could
to that.
see if they said we want to win a championship
if
this
AD
year.
was healthy, Kyrie was healthy.
Lively
Gafford
was healthy.
and Gafford.
I get
All
it.
of them got hurt.
That's putting all your chips in one season. I get that, but you gotta think when you're a franchise. You gotta think beyond.
And you know what's
one
even
season.
more sad?
Yeah.
Klay Thompson, bro. Klay
feel
Thompson
for
literally went to Dallas to play with Luka.
Yeah.
They played. I wonder if that's in his contract. Like I can leave
Yeah, they
next
played
year.
I mean,
but-
I feel good as a Laker fan
yeah,
because
maybe Clay comes to the Lakers
Klay
next.
maybe comes to the Lakers
what-
next year.
So when the trade went through for the Lakers, I said, okay, so the Lakers are done with this season because they gave up AD. So I was like, we have no interior defense, and then they just started winning, and I
And we
was
started
like,
playing top
I
tier
was like,
defense.
yeah, like, I was like, oh,
Literally the number one defense in the league.
I was
Don't know how
like,
that
that's-
Except yesterday when we
Yeah, we're
played
not gonna talk about that because we got
the
worked
Bulls
by
and
the
they
Bulls.
just
So,
gave
yeah.
us like 150.
My Lakers are looking
I don't know what happened.
they're looking really good right now.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought interior defense was going to be an issue, and
Hasn't been.
It's
Y'all think we
not.
got a shot at the title?
Do we have a shot?
yeah,
Do we have a shot?
yeah.
Hot pot.
Lakers in five.
Cameras and shot. Lakers in 5.
I be
I don't
saying
know.
that all the time. Though.
Lakers in
Random
5,
stuff.
man.
Nah, Lakers got
Come
a
on,
good shot, a
dude.
better shot than I thought too. Better than, like I said, when it happened, I didn't think it was going to click this season.
Me either. I thought we weren't gonna have any defense.
Yeah, Warriors looking good too.
Man, for real.
Oh, shout out to my man Steph Curry who's out right
Warriors
now with a
looking
hip
good.
contusion.
But I'm gonna tell you this right now: if Steph wins another championship in LeBron's era, that don't
It's
look good.
hey, low key.
That don't look good.
I mean,
Let me
wait.
finish. Who had more rings in Jordan's era than Jordan?
Nobody.
Who had more rings in Kobe's era than Kobe?
Nobody.
Tim tied, but he didn't have more.
Mm-hmm.
Who got more rings in LeBron's era than LeBron? Nobody right now, but I'm telling you, if that man
more would
eke
be
out
crazy.
another one, woo.
I don't really think it hurts nothing. I'm gonna be honest.
No, LeBron is set. LeBron is set. He's going to be the second greatest player of all time. in some
I'm just saying.
people's
I'm just saying.
books, third
Curry
in
getting
mine.
another ring in LeBron's era does nothing. It's literally no point. It's just a point for Curry fans who love Curry.
And
over
they're going
LeBron.
to have something to say.
Well, hold on.
And-
They gonna
that
have
does
something
no,
to
nothing.
say.
wait, no. It's got to do something because
Got
No.
you, bro.
because there are two things that y'all always talk about that make somebody great. Their
Listen,
greatness. It's their longevity.
Curry-
And at this point, LeBron has been
But you
doing
got
it.
LeBron behind Jordan, though, right?
I got LeBron behind Jordan. I got Jordan 1A. I got Bron 1B.
Okay, well, he going to be 2 if Curry get...
No,
Yes.
that does nothing. LeBron doesn't have to win another championship.
He don't have to.
He don't have to do
But
anything.
if somebody else wins more championships than him during his
Yeah, because
era,
at some point,
he falls behind Jordan, bro.
here's my question. At
falls
some
behind
point,
Jordan.
does winning matter, or does winning not matter?
Winning,
LeBron just
winning
played
does
forever and
matter,
was great forever.
but there's so much more. Like
then
okay,
winning.
no.
be
Listen,
much more than
there's not more than. But it depends on what you're talking about as winning. You need to be talking about championships more specifically, because LeBron is a winner, or he wins a lot of things.
Yeah, you're right.
Like-
you gotta say championship.
Yeah, it's championships.
So that's what we're talking about.
That's
Yeah,
what I'm
yeah.
talking about. Yeah, okay.
So winning is not just championships. Winning is all encompasses, and we're gonna get into that picture in a second. But
yeah.
when it comes to like if Curry wins another one, sure. Like Curry's great. Curry already is top 5 point guards all time, and it may solidify him
Top
being
3.
the top 1 or 2
Yeah.
if he wins another championship. Obviously,
Yeah.
already the greatest shooter of all time. Not arguing that with anybody. I don't think anybody argues that.
Nah, you lose your basketball credentials if you do.
Absolutely, you do. So, yeah, him winning another one does nothing.
Well,
LeBron is in his 20-something, 23rd year.
Well, he better retire. Then.
Like,
he better retire
well, here's-
before
here's
this man
the
get
thing,
He's
another.
though.
had a full.
But wait,
he's
here's-
had 2 or 3 people's
Here's
careers.
the thing with Steph Curry, though. Well, Steph Curry went to college, so of course he has less seasons than LeBron. But I don't hold that against Steph Curry. Like that's,
of course.
I don't. As great as it is that LeBron has played so many years, I don't say, oh, you didn't go to college, so.
But we're not
now
comparing
you're-
them to.
But wait, I'm talking about the longevity because people take the extra years and be like, you spent so many years. Like, yeah, but they're both 37. They're both 40. You know, that kind of thing is how I view it. But Curry's been around for a long time too,
Yeah.
so he has the longevity.
Well, they're in the same
He's
era.
been great the entire time.
That sounds great.
And he wins more than you.
That sounds
Yeah,
great. He's
it-
already had a better
Well,
regular season record than LeBron's ever had. The best regular season record of all time.
Okay, so
But he's not better. Like
I just want to make sure
they don't compare.
But I just want to make sure
not better
I
than
was
LeBron.
not comparing Steph.
I'm just
to
saying it doesn't
LeBron. I
hurt
wasn't
his
doing
legacy
that. What
at
I
all.
was saying was
Is it the
for
Steph
the
Curry
people
era?
for people that have Bron over Jordan. I'm like, if somebody gets more
Okay.
rings in his era, he's got to be number 2.
Yeah.
Okay, so
He's
you're just
gotta
saying
be.
Who got
you're just
more
saying it
rings than
hurts.
Magic
It
in
hurts
Magic's
him
era?
in his
in the
greatest
Jordan
of all time conversation.
Yes, I just said he solidified as top 2. And
Sure.
some people
That's a
top 3 in
point.
mine,
Yeah.
but that's because I'm a Kobe fan and I understand.
Actually,
I already know you.
I'm
you
not
gotta
gonna lie.
You ain't gotta explain to me. I already know I'm giving Kobe extra points. It don't matter.
Exactly,
He gonna
it don't
get 'em.
matter.
He gonna get
I
'em.
feel you.
I don't know where to put that. Okay, this is controversial. All right? I don't know where to put LeBron. He might be around like 4 or 5 for me.
See, this is why the
But
three of us
wait.
couldn't get on the same
But
track
wait,
earlier.
let me
All time.
tell you why.
Who,
Let me tell you
who are
why.
these other people?
1, Jordan.
Okay.
2,
Kobe.
Kareem.
All right.
If we're talking basketball
No, that's
resumes,
fine. That's fine.
okay.
But who's 3, 4?
Now, I personally am a Kobe guy, so I put Kobe up there.
Sure.
But 4, sometimes I think about Magic Johnson.
Get out of here.
No.
You go walk down them stairs, open that door, and get up out of here.
Magic Johnson
then-
is great, but Magic Johnson
Come on, bro.
is not.
Magic over LeBron.
No.
How many years did Magic play?
Out of here.
He was in the
Never.
finals 9 times. And if you look at Magic's stat lines, they get really silly. Like the amount of points that
mean,
Magic generated.
Russell
It's
Westbrook's stat
ridiculous.
line is silly.
But we know for a fact Magic's stat lines resulted in finals appearances and finals wins. We know this.
But you're talking about stat
For a
lines
fact.
right now.
I like Magic. Magic as a rookie came into the league, went to the finals, and went from point guard to center and won the finals. I get
Yeah.
it. I love it. I'm not putting him
But
over LeBron.
here's
not
another
better
thing
than
I think about from time to time. And I know this guy isn't greater than LeBron.
that
all
clip's
time.
going viral because ain't nobody agreeing with that.
Yeah, I know.
No, okay.
I mean,
let me-
nobody really gonna agree with Kobe too much, and I'm a Kobe fan.
They ain't
but
got to
I'm-
agree. Like I said, I already know. what I'm
Yeah.
Listen.
putting Kobe
I know
for.
who's number 1 in my heart.
Yeah, you know.
Number 1 is Kobe Bean Bryant. I don't care. I'm not arguing with nobody.
Yeah, ain't going
But
back
if
and
I'm
forth with
being like
nobody.
in my basketball mind, LeBron James is better than Kobe Bryant all time.
I mean, I'll let other people say that.
He
I'm
just-
not
he
gonna
just
argue.
In my
is.
basketball mind, it's still Kobe. Anyways, but
I
no,
don't know.
but this is why I brought up the Magic thing.
I used to say that.
I was
but
watching.
can't
I
say
was
it
watching a
anymore.
video. Well, first of all, let me explain. LeBron's longevity is great, but you got to be greater than the person, not playing longer. That's how I feel about it. Anyways,
Yeah.
Greater
I was
than
watching
the
it-
person.
All right, just let him talk.
I was
let
watching
him
the
get, let him get to it.
Yeah.
for
Right.
example, when MJ was MJ, that height, you got to reach that height, not just below that height for a longer period of time. That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, that I
So
agree
I
with
don't
that.
I don't think LeBron reached
Jordan's heights
that MJ
and
height.
Kobe's heights were much higher than
That's
LeBron's.
that's why I
agree
don't
with
put
that.
LeBron there.
What's his height measurement?
Lead the league in scoring for 10 out of
My
11
man
years,
Kobe
win 6
hit-
rings in
Kobe
11
scored
years,
50 like 6-7 games in a row,
Facts.
bro. Like
Sure.
and be first team all defense for all of those years.
Sure. I mean, Brandon Jennings scored
Essentially
50 points in his
be-
first
that's
Undeniably-
one time.
rookie game.
And he's still talking about
and he's
it. No, I'm just
trash.
kidding.
I'm just kidding. He's not trash.
Don't do that.
Brandon
Even
Jennings
though-
is not trash.
There is somebody that we know that played ball that said Brandon Jennings was bugging when he said that he was better than Drew Holiday.
Yeah, he's definitely not better than Drew Holiday.
He said Drew Holiday never. Better
I've
than
seen
me.
both of them play close. Like I watched Drew Holiday and Brandon Jennings a lot. Like
It's crazy. I remember Drew Holiday in high school.
a
Crazy
lot.
work.
Yeah.
Both of them a ton. Drew Holiday's a better all-around
You know
player.
who I thought was gonna
Guaranteed.
be like the greatest player when I was in high school?
OJ Mayo.
Don Maker.
DeMar DeRozan.
DeMar? I
Hey,
thought OJ Mayo was
hey.
going to be him.
Mayo was
Mayo
pretty
was
dope
good.
when he first came out.
Yeah.
So was
the way
Tariq Evans.
DeMar DeRozan used to dunk on people in high school, bro.
Yeah, that
I
wasn't
said,
right.
oh,
That's
not right. I'm not
he's
gonna lie.
next in line. But
Have you seen Josh Smith in high school?
Crazy work.
Nah,
Crazy.
I didn't watch Josh.
Crazy.
Y'all think Zion was like bodying people?
I can
Josh
imagine.
Smith
I
was
mean,
going crazy.
yeah, that man can dunk the ball. Yeah.
Zion was bodying people.
All right, let's
Zion
ask the
was
question
different.
here, though.
Okay, yeah, let's switch here real
So I
quick.
put
But
this
yeah,
in the group chat.
I won't take too much of the LeBron slander
There's no
in that
slander.
regard.
There
No,
was
no.
no slander.
Listen, when you
bro.
say heights, let's switch back.
Okay,
Hold
go
on.
back.
Okay,
Hold
here we
on.
go.
Because I got to get this out the
Hey,
way.
get it off your chest.
When you say, okay, trust me, I was against the LeBron being the GOAT proponent over even Kobe for years until he kept playing and he kept winning and kept doing things great. And I'm just like, okay, I got to put him over him now. But LeBron's heights are just as high as I would say at Kobe's or even Jordan's. Just as high. Think now. I'm talking about because
Never.
let me explain this to you.
Never.
Let me explain this to you. When you're talking about heights, I'm just talking
Never.
about media heights, the hype around a player. Like,
Never, bro.
He has the heights, bro.
When Kobe was
Listen.
when
They're
Kobe-
literally right now. If you go
Hey.
on TikTok right now and put in LeBron James song, they're literally singing this man's praises. Like,
I get
listen,
that. No,
wait,
let
wait,
me-
But
wait,
everybody
wait,
wants
let me-
to
let
be
me-
like
wait a
Mike.
minute.
Let me-
Don't
no,
talk
let me-
about
no,
singing
let me-
praises
Listen,
when
listen,
we
they
all
don't-
want to be like Mike.
You must have forgot those dark years
Listen.
in LA when Kobe didn't have nobody to pass the ball
I
to.
haven't forgot
and he
nothing.
was averaging 35 points a game. LeBron
Listen,
has
I was
never
watching.
in his
Kobe's my
life
favorite player of all time. I haven't missed any of that.
offensively.
I haven't missed none of that.
Kobe's a better scorer than LeBron James in those seasons. When Kobe was going for 35,
Absolutely.
LeBron never did that. And LeBron has never been the same defensive player as Kobe. Never. LeBron is a weak side defense, help come, steal the ball, or block it off the backboard. Kobe,
Nah, I mean,
get in your face.
Nah, LeBron had a
LeBron's-
few years when he was playing
LeBron's a
defense.
great defender.
Nah, LeBron had
LeBron
I
is
will
above
stand
Wait.
on
an
this
above
until
average
they-
defender.
I will stand on this.
no. Wait,
until
let me
the
let
end
me
of
let me speak real
time.
quick. Let me speak
Kobe's
real.
a better defender
Let me
than
speak
LeBron.
real quick. First things first
Through and through.
about your LeBron. point
Gilbert
on
Arenas
defense.
dropped 60 on Kobe. I don't want to hear it. I'm just kidding.
I mean, crazy things
I'm
happen
kidding.
to everybody.
Listen,
First things first.
81 points.
LeBron James was a
High.
very, very good defensive player, but he's not 10 times first team all defense or I think Kobe's actually. Anyways, Kobe got more, definitively more, right?
Yeah.
But this is my point.
Jordan's a better defender too.
Yeah, absolutely.
But this
Yeah.
is my point though.
Jordan led the
On
league in
ball.
points and steals in the same
On
season.
ball. Let me
On ball defender. But this is the thing. This is the thing that makes me upset about defensive prowess and like how they rate defensive player of the year and all that kind of stuff.
It doesn't because
Everything-
LeBron should have one.
Yeah, exactly.
I get it,
There
'cause
should be
on-ball
more
counts, too.
perimeter. Yeah, exactly. There should
I
be
get
more
it. It does
perimeter
count.
play. So LeBron is a better off-ball defender because he can protect the rim better than Kobe and Jordan.
I get it. That's important.
And if you could look at his steals average, he gets in them lanes.
That's important. I'm not gonna act like it's not important, especially when it comes to winning games. Like that's super important to the sport.
So on ball shut you
mano
down.
y
That
mano?
mano y mano.
Kobe,
But listen,
Kobe on it, man.
listen. If we're talking about who's just better at mano y mano, sure. There's people that are gonna fall off the list easily.
Yeah.
Like for instance, Kyrie Irving is probably one of the best mano y mano players in the world.
But you got to play defense too.
I'm just saying.
He's
it
one of the
don't-
best on
listen,
offense.
when you're getting scored on like that, that's the defense.
Yeah.
Okay, but let me say this real quick about MJ. Him reaching different heights.
Mm-hmm.
10 times out of 11 years, he was the NBA's leading scorer.
bro,
There is
Cool.
nothing
That's what
you
I'm
are ever
saying,
going
like-
to do in basketball
That's what I'm
man.
saying,
more
bro.
important to score. And not only that, the amount that he scored is past LeBron. But not only that, the way basketball was played then, scoring that many points then is scoring even more points now.
Bro. It's all.
So
it's
it's
gonna
like
be Jordan
when it
LeBron
comes
too.
to
It's
when it
the
comes
way
to
it's gonna
actually
be.
what
Listen,
a person
LeBron
is,
isn't
LeBron
LeBron.
LeBron
Although
is
LeBron is a
amazing.
scorer,
but
he's not much of a chucker. He's not just chucking it.
I
up there.
don't want you to be
I
a
don't
chucker.
care.
And guess what?
I don't
Jordan,
care.
There's
Jordan and
nothing-
Kobe were chuckers, and I loved it. I loved every minute
You
of it.
got that
And
right.
guess what? It was more entertaining than watching LeBron score the
How
ball.
many 40-point games
Absolutely.
does LeBron have?
Doesn't
And
matter,
how many
though.
does Kobe and Jordan have?
Listen.
I need
The
to see
sheer
that.
amount of points that you're
Come on,
guaranteed to get out of LeBron James is astronomical. And as far as his involvement in the scoring of the team, period, is astronomical.
Listen to me.
There
Listen to
goes
me. though.
ChatGPT.
Here's
Yes,
the
of
thing.
course. I chat GPT every
Here's
day.
the thing, though. This is the other controversial thing I was going to say. This one I know isn't
You're
true.
gonna, it's gonna do exactly 40 points.
But get this though,
Why they don't give me LeBron's number? They trying to protect him, yo.
they are.
Jordan hit 173.
Yeah, LeBron's nowhere near
Dude,
that.
Jordan
We know
is
that for a fact.
that
It's,
guy.
it's not close.
Guess what?
But here's one last thing that's kind of crazy. If you had to choose one player to start your franchise with,
LeBron
are you
James.
choosing LeBron James or Shaquille O'Neal?
LeBron James.
I'm choosing Shaq.
I'm choosing LeBron James.
I'm choosing LeBron. Yeah, I'm not.
Like,
here for
I'm not
LeBron
being
slander.
sick.
I'm not.
I'm
a
not
LeBron
slanderer,
bro.
You're gonna build a team. I'm
Shaq
choosing
is
Shaq.
great as a great choice. I'm not choosing Shaq.
Yeah,
over
I'm
LeBron.
choosing LeBron.
I'm choosing
not.
Shaq.
Because LeBron is more versatile, bro.
He is more versatile, but I don't need versatility. I need that dominance.
Who doesn't
But
need
who's gonna
versatility
give
in the
Shaq
league?
ball?
You have to build a team. You're not out there
Exactly.
playing with
So
one
if I'm
person.
building a team, I don't want to
I'm
build a team
building
around somebody that needs somebody to give him the
LeBron
ball.
James.
I'm gonna build it around the guy who can take care of the ball.
Bro, I would give Shaq the ball. I don't care how
You-
Shaq gets the ball.
when
Give
you
it to him at the
draft
3-point
LeBron,
line.
You literally don't need 3 different positions.
Yeah.
You draft
You've
Shaq.
got your point guard.
And guess what?
All you need is one other
Guess
position,
what?
a point guard.
He's gonna
That's-
play
what
for
you talking
20
about?
years. He's
He's
gonna
gonna
play
play
for
for
25
But he's only
years.
gonna play for your team
All right, that's
for
enough
the
of
next
this.
5.
That's enough of this. I think we all come to the conclusion.
Anyway,
It's
all right, let's
Jordan
go
first,
to the-
LeBron second, and then if you're a Kobe fan like me, you throw Kobe.
Sure,
in
I'll
too.
still put Jordan first just because the potency of his. I still got him
I'm
1A.
still mad that they didn't get
Just
me
because
the
how
number.
potent he was for, and it wasn't a short period of time. It's just he was in the league shorter than LeBron was. But when he was at his peak lasted and was more potent than LeBron's is. So that's why I still put him over him.
Jordan at
LeBron
40 was
has
just as good as LeBron at
78.
40.
It's fine. But
Jordan has 100.
there's like a crazy stat of like consecutive like
I don't
points
care. That,
over a
that
certain
stat
that
is whack.
he kills everybody.
That
at.
stat is whack.
And of
It's
course
it's 10
he has
points
way
a
more
game.
points than
I'm
every.
talking
It's-
about
it's the
40
10
points.
points per
Listen,
game.
he
I'm talking
has
about 40
way
points,
more
bro.
points.
What about the 20
all
point per game
time.
stat?
I'm talking about
LeBron's not
40,
there.
40 points.
What about
bro.
the consecutive
But that's
20
what I'm
point per
talking
game
about.
stat?
Like
LeBron's
LeBron,
not there.
when it comes to scoring 25 points a night, LeBron's the guy. But I'm talking about heights.
But guess
I'm talking
what?
about
He's gonna
50-point games.
listen. He's gonna
60-point
get
games.
listen. He's gonna give you a triple double though.
81-point games.
I don't care about triple double.
doubles.
You don't care about him?
You know why I don't care about triple double?
All right.
Because y'all talked about Magic.
I don't got enough time. Let's go.
Because we talked about Magic.
Hey.
Magic is just not better than LeBron.
Hey, I
what are you
don't got-
talking
I don't
about?
got
Magic's giving all the
He's
triple
still the
doubles.
Go to
He's
it.
still the
Wait.
greatest
Hey.
point guard of all
Hey.
time.
Larry
Time out.
Bird's giving all the triple doubles.
Hey.
And Larry Bird was a defensive player too.
Go to it. Let's
with
do
the
it.
same stats
What
as
is
LeBron James.
Here it is.
can't-
I put this in the
can't-
chat. No, I'm not.
This
I'm not
guy is
spending my whole
slandering.
I brought that up
Crazy.
because you brought up triple double.
All right,
so
here we go. We
can't
got the
care
4
about it
guys
right
on
now.
the screen. We got
That doesn't make
Harden,
any sense.
AI, Russ, and D Wade. All right, we're gonna make our list right here. Number 1 is D Wade. If you said
Absolutely.
anything different, you are wrong.
He has to be. He's the only
Hands
champion.
down.
Mhm.
I know he's the only one in this list that don't have an MVP, but he has a Finals MVP, and that's what matters.
And
So,
3 championship
three
rings.
championship.
My
So it's
3
D-
championship
Is D
rings.
Wade first? Who's 2?
Number 2 for me is Russell Westbrook. That man's number 2.
I think I put AI 2 in my list. Who'd you put
Mm-hmm.
2 on your list?
I didn't. I said it was too hard to choose. Right now, I'm gonna say James Harden though.
Wow, absolutely not. Harden's last. There's only
Yeah.
so there's only 2 things right about this list. All right, the man from Miami is first, and Harden is last.
Bro,
The 2 in the middle could mix it up. I'm picking AI just because the way he changed the game. You know
How did he change it?
Well, he
First of
brought
all,
in the
we're
carry,
allowed to
the
carry.
carry rule. That's because of him and with his crossover. Now, there's no disrespect to Russ
And
because
the
Russ
swagger.
got so many triple doubles. He made it normal. Like you don't even give Russ his credit when he gets triple doubles.
yeah,
anymore.
people
So-
really think that he was like not actually playing great basketball.
So I'm not trying to disrespect Russ when I say AI, but that man AI was the only person that beat the Lakers when they went on that run
Who
in
cares?
2001.
Speaking of
Like,
triple
that,
doubles.
Not
that
enough.
man's a different.
He won one game.
He's a and nobody else won
The
a
Bulls
game.
won. The Bulls blew us
Nobody
out
else-
the other night by 50.
Nobody else
They're not gonna
won
be.
a
They're not going
single
to the playoffs.
game. That man put the whole team on his back and dragged them to the finals.
Yeah, no. Okay, let me not. So when I'm saying these things, I'm not doing it like
not
I'm not saying that they're
I
trash.
understand.
I'm just saying in
You
the
can take a
grand
picture,
scheme
though,
and in the comparison, right?
Yeah.
In the comparison of those guys specifically, that's not enough to make me put him over Westbrook. Reason being because
Westbrook.
Who's a better scorer?
Huh?
Who's a better scorer?
Who's a better scorer? Iverson's a better scorer.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Iverson's
Just
a
make
better
sure
scorer.
we on that.
Talk about
Without a doubt.
chucking.
But as far as effectiveness on the game, intensity, defense, just everything.
I mean, if he had somebody
What's-
other than Eric Snow to pass the ball to, he'd have more assists. You know what I'm saying?
Sure.
But
But then he wouldn't be
He
scoring as
wasn't
much.
gonna have no
So
assists
what's the
with
difference?
Dikembe Mutombo.
That's why
on the
LeBron.
team.
So we're not
Aaron
gonna get back
McKee.
into LeBron again, but that's why I'm still putting LeBron over Magic because.
Bro,
it
why
doesn't
are
matter.
we? Why
Anyway,
No.
anyway, no. What I'm saying is this though. Yeah, if he had better players on his team, then that means he has to give the ball up, right?
Yeah.
So what promotes you to shoot the ball more is not having other people to pass it to.
But he did it
So the more people
efficiently.
the more people you have to pass it to, and you're able to still score and do other things, that you're a more talented player.
Yeah, but
I.e., why right now the best player in the league right now is Jokic, because Jokic can get you 30 and then drop 12 dimes and get you 15 boards.
yeah,
He could do everything on the floor,
yeah.
literally.
I'm not mad at it.
So, and he has players to pass it to that can score, right? Prime example, AI, best years as a Sixer, of course, that was a great run. He was scoring the ball like crazy. He averaged crazy numbers. But that comes with not having a team. So if you want to give him assists,
Carry the
I know.
smoothest carry ever.
If you want to give him more assists, then you take more points out of, and then that lessens your argument on the other side. Now, if he's just such a potent scorer to where it's just,
All right.
you know,
So you got Russ too. I'm not mad at that though.
I
Yeah.
have, I have a
I'm not
question.
mad
I
at Russ.
honestly think Russ 2 is like almost a no-brainer in this conversation.
The reason why I don't think so. So we know James
Yeah, we
Harden
need to talk
was
to you. Why is James Harden not last on your list? That's what we need to talk about.
because if we're being just look at his. If you didn't actually watch him play,
we actually
at least go look at
we
his
Man,
watched
stat
him
sheet,
play.
11,
okay?
11
I
of his
watched
points
him
come
play.
from the line.
I don't care where your points come from. I
I
care
do.
that you got them. I don't care if you got them
I
from
agree
the
with that
3-point line.
100%.
I don't care if you dunked every last one of them. I don't care how you got your points. I care.
I do.
James Harden,
Got
from
it
the
in a
moment
soft
he
league.
went to Houston till right now, is definitively one of the greatest producers of basketball production ever.
What has it gotten him? I don't even know what team he played for no more.
I don't care what
I
you
don't even know what
say.
team he played for.
Karl Malone don't have no championships either.
I don't even know what team he played for. I'm
You
sorry.
gonna tell me Karl Malone's not one of the greats now because he don't have no championships?
What does Harden do though,
What does he do?
other than score?
Everything. He's one of the best. Okay, look at this.
He's a
His
great
passes
passer.
are empty calories.
11 assists, 8 assists, 7, 7, 10, 10, 10,
How many
10,
times does
10,
he pass?
8, 8.
How many times
He
does
has- he
How many
has
times does he pass the ball when there's more than 3 seconds left on the shot clock?
as much as anybody else
No, he
that handles
doesn't.
the ball as much
No,
as
he
him.
doesn't. He dribbles the ball to death. Come on, bro.
Nah.
And you're gonna make me sound bad about Harden. Harden's
Nobody,
good.
nobody is averaging 7 assists, 7 assists, 11 assists, 8 assists, 7 assists, 7, 10.
Okay, but if we're gonna
10,
go
10,
numbers, Russ
10,
Russ got him on
10.
numbers.
Those are all different seasons averaging 10 assists, by the way.
But
LeBron's done it once.
Russ got those same assists.
Not to that extent.
Yeah, pull it
Yes,
up.
he did.
Yes, he do. Russ got the same numbers when it comes to assists,
Look at Russ
and he
all
did it
time.
with more rebounds.
1, 2, 3. Yep, he got five. Well, he has those 5 seasons, but overall he don't have as many assists. He has those seasons where he averaged a
That's how-
triple-double.
I was right then.
But no, you're not right, because
What's that?
overall James Harden's averaging more. For example,
You just told me he had 5 seasons with 10 assists.
yes.
Yeah, also I was right.
You saying?
Well, what-
You saying? Yeah, Russell did.
Russ got
Yeah,
5 seasons
yeah.
with 10 assists.
Yeah,
Then it's
exactly.
the
But
same
when
thing,
I'm
bro.
talking about James Harden, all the other seasons with 7 assists, 8 assists.
Well, how many times he got 7 assists? I know I'm right.
He's got
3,
a lot. What's
4,
his lowest assist season?
5?
And when was that?
Nope.
What year?
4. 4.5 was last year.
Okay.
Yeah.
But
He's
you
at
just
6.2 right
told me
now.
he's got
He's got-
4
he's
seasons
got
at
different-
7.
James Harden's averaging
He's
22
got
points
4
and 8 assists right now.
You said he's got 4 seasons at 7 and 5 seasons at 10. That's the same amount of assists, my guy. It really is.
I'm,
is.
I'm looking at it right now. It's not.
What they average per career on assists?
He might have on the career.
I say average.
That's what I'm
Yeah.
saying. He might have on the career average.
Who,
Then-
Russ? Then that's the
Because
point.
you got to remember
not the
Harden came
point.
off the bench. I'm talking about. I said since Harden went to Houston. I said
Russell's
that.
coming
It's
off the bench
not
for the
my-
past 2 years.
It's not my fault this guy was on the bench.
Russell's
We
been
talking
coming
about
off the
being
bench for
better.
the past 2 or 3 years now. What do
He
you
was
mean?
coming off the bench on Russ's team.
Hey, Harden shouldn't have been
Clearly,
coming
he
off the
wasn't
bench
better.
on Russ's team though. We know that for a fact.
Nah, he definitely
okay,
should have been.
If but if he's
That
averaging,
team was
if
good.
Russ is averaging more for a career, and they played almost the same amount of seasons, then that means Russ gets more assists.
Oh,
He
Russ is not
does.
averaging more for a career.
Okay,
Or wait, is he? I looked at the wrong thing. Yeah, it's pretty close.
I know I'm right.
It's close.
At the end of
It's
the
really
day,
close.
End of the day, I think Harden. Now, mind
those
you,
Harden
all of
highs,
these guys are
33,
top-
35, 36 a game.
hey, all
is-
these guys are top tier.
Yeah, they're
crazy.
top
There's
tier
no,
players.
there's no slander on nobody.
But if we got to rank them based upon just them four, it's D Wade.
D Wade's number one.
You know what? I'm actually looking.
Get out of here, bro. The dude got 3 championships. Get out of here. Get out of here.
Yeah, D Wade was
He's
effective.
number one.
He was. Yeah,
He got
and he was
3
super
rings. Yeah, he's
effective on
number
every ring he's gotten.
He's number one. He was the Finals
Yeah.
MVP on the first
And he,
one.
and he
Yeah.
balled out when LeBron
I
wet
think
the
Shaq
bed.
averaged
against
13
him.
points a game on the first one.
stats wise, he doesn't really compare to the other 3 guys
No,
as
not
far
at
as
all.
Because he decided to win instead.
for sure.
Sometimes winning takes away your stats,
Absolutely.
and that's what he decided to do.
So that's why Russell Westbrook is over Allen Iverson for me.
I'm not mad at it.
But yeah, no, D Wade is definitely number one. I was just trying to make an argument.
I
See if
actually
there's
don't
an
know.
argument there.
Let's be clear. I actually said that I can't rank them appropriately.
I know, but
That's
then,
what I actually
but
said.
Then you
So
decided to
when you
rank,
add,
so I had
that
to,
means
had
that
to
I think
destroy it.
they're all really close, and I believe they're interchangeable. So
No,
if you
they
ask
are
me why
close.
I said who's where, it's because James Harden is the only one up there that
Nah, they're
averaged
close.
36 a game.
Sure.
Yeah, that's pretty good. I ain't gonna lie to you. That's all right.
That's a lot of points.
That's a lot of points. Yeah. That's a
And
lot
he
of points.
did that after averaging like
And if
35
he had
and
did
32 a
that
game.
with one ring,
Then he
and
gets
they
boosted.
should have won. They should have beat the Warriors.
The Warriors, yeah,
I think they
when
missed
Chris
like
Paul got hurt.
15 3-pointers in a row or something like that.
Yeah,
it was crazy.
Yeah,
when
they
Chris
should
Paul got hurt.
Yeah, they should have.
Which would have been crazy.
But that's the way
Yeah.
the cookie crumbles.
Crazy.
So yeah.
That's how it is,
All right,
man.
where we at? We got some wings downstairs. I know that.
Yeah,
much.
You got some
absolutely.
wings downstairs. Hey, we need to get a
We need a sponsorship.
sponsorship.
Mhm.
I would
Nah,
shout
for
them
real.
out because they wings is fire, but
Mhm.
we need a
we
sponsorship.
need a
So let's talk
sponsorship.
about this real quick in regards to basketball. This is been talking about a lot of basketball.
Yeah, let's do it.
But, so right now, a lot of people are complaining about like how superstars are not available as much.
I think it's terrible.
There's a lot more injuries now in the league compared to before, and
Everybody's soft. There, I said it.
if you're comparing it to like before the 90s and like those older era teams where there's guys playing multiple seasons not missing a game, playing in back-to-backs, playing extended minutes.
Jordan played 82 at 40.
But that's
Yeah.
why back in the day nobody played more than 12 seasons.
No, I don't think that's it. I don't
No,
think that's it.
I might agree with that to some degree, and I think there's a lot of changes in the league that makes for it to be a lot less physical. So, but then again, there's more injuries though. It's crazy.
It extends your career.
But there's more injuries now though, and it's less physical. It definitely is less physical now. I think just guys are just not as sturdy.
I think
I think they're not as sturdy.
But wait,
There's
no,
a
no,
lot
no.
of
Actually, no, here-
non-contact injuries.
You know what? You know what it actually is? It's a lot of these guys have been playing basketball since they were 2, and they haven't stopped.
You know what? You're right about it. They hit that AAU scene.
Mm-hmm.
They have no off season.
Back in the early 80s, 97, like they weren't playing on
They
multiple
didn't-
AAU travel
you be seeing
teams.
them. They be
Playing,
like,
they
yeah,
just played at their high school.
I picked up
they
a
went to
basketball
college,
when I was
then they went to
16
the
years
league.
old. You
No,
never
man,
played
these
before
dudes
you
been-
was 16?
These dudes that's in the league now have been playing
Yeah.
since 5 and have not stopped.
Yeah,
They've been
yeah, you right about
playing
it.
multiple games every week since they was
Needs
5
to be
years
done
old.
by the time they graduate high school.
Exactly.
Yeah, you're right.
I
I think
it
that's
has a
what
lot
happens to
it,
their
too.
durability. So if you take that away, now obviously that's what makes for a greater skill in the game. So you're thinking about ability versus availability.
Yeah.
Like I think the ability of NBA players today would be a lot less if they played a lot less, if they didn't play in all these AU games and play with all these kind of people. They wouldn't be as good. But then again, they're not as sturdy. So
there's
you're gonna have two or three seasons without your best player was 2 or 3 seasons worth of games in their career without your best player because they have to rest or they're hurt or something.
Because you got guys like Zion. I feel like he ain't never played a season.
He balling right now though.
I know.
That man going
Zion
crazy.
is
Listen,
Zion was
Zion
supposed
Williams
to be. He was
is-
supposed to be
is-
the face of the league. He was supposed.
and listen, if he stay healthy and he keep
When-
playing like
yeah,
he playing,
Yeah, like if
He
he can
can get
string
there.
2-3 seasons together, it'll look like he the best player in the league. Because nobody should be scoring 20 plus
'Cause you
points
gotta
on
remember,
60% field
Zion
goals
came in with the most hype since LeBron.
and lived up to it that
Yeah.
first season.
Yeah, no, Zion, no. There's
sure.
nothing
Like-
wrong with Zion's game. He just got to be on the court.
Yeah, like,
there's nothing wrong with his
it's
game.
crazy.
Zion's game isn't the most well. To me, it's not the most entertaining game because it's a
Until
lot
you
of
do it
below the
on
rim
somebody.
finishing. Although he can jump out the gym, but he's just stronger and quicker than everybody his size,
Mhm.
and like
His
definitely
size,
stronger.
bigger than him, smaller than it don't
Yeah,
matter.
and he's a great ball handler at that size as well.
Yeah.
He's dangerous though. He's a tough guard. He was balling out on the Lakers the
Who
other
you
night.
like more, him
Still
or
beat him.
Victor Wembanyama?
Vic
Wimby.
Wimby.
Exactly.
Wimby,
He's
man.
too big.
He's too big. He's too
When I
good.
first
man.
saw Wimby, I thought he was a creative player. I'm like,
He's a cheat
Seven-
code.
7'2",
No, he's like 7'6".
7'5",
Nah, he's not that tall.
7'5".
He's actually probably 7'2". On paper, it's probably gonna say he's 7'4", 7'6". He is not that tall.
But the man can
He's
dribble.
like 7'2".
He can dribble at that height.
Yeah.
Dribble well.
And he can shoot.
tripping. He's only listed at 7'3".
Yeah.
He don't-
Yeah,
He's,
so I
he's,
thought he
he's
was
not.
like
I don't
7'3".
even think he's
Yeah.
7'3". I think he's like 7. I think he's a little shorter.
Nah, I think he's
Yeah.
7'3".
Yeah, that man's different for sure.
But
if
he's
ridiculous.
if he
he's
becomes the
different.
norm, you know what I'm saying? If
That's
they start
scary.
growing him like that,
Bro, they can't
Then
do
everybody
anything.
that's my height that has hoop dreams,
oh, it's over.
it's a
Give it
wrap
up.
for you. If
It's
you,
a wrap.
it's just like, yeah, you're good, but like I got this guy who's 7'3" who could do everything that you do.
Everything you just did.
It's just like,
And he's 7'3".
And he can dunk without
did I
jumping.
mention he's 7'3"? Like it's just,
You're
it's
like, I
just
can do a
not fair. At
360
that
windmill.
point.
He can dunk without jumping. That's,
He can do a 360 windmill too. All
Yeah,
on
nah,
his
that's
fingers.
crazy.
yeah, man. Yeah, he's the evolution of,
Yeah, man.
of
Yeah, it's
humanity.
crazy. But
That's
back
crazy.
back to your question. One thing I can't stand about today's game is people taking games off. That annoys me. If you need a break, you don't take these 48 minutes off. You take the 48 minutes that you was gonna lift weights or run on the treadmill or.
But that's what I was saying about extending your career now. I think they can play longer because they do that.
No,
Yeah.
but I'm saying, if you take the 48 minutes of practice, you don't practice. You were gonna practice yesterday. Don't do that.
No, I feel it. I
Skip practice, but
listen,
get in the games that we pay
when
for.
I be seeing these contracts, I feel like
you gotta play your
listen,
games.
if I was the owner of that team, you're playing. Okay?
But I mean, a lot of times, and like I mean, we'll use Zion as an example. He was just talking about how he would like to play more minutes, but
it says it's not up to him.
It's not up to him.
Mhm.
And a lot of these organizations are trying to milk everything they can out of their superstars. So they're not gonna play him
Tell
in
them
Detroit.
to sit on the couch on Tuesday
even though
night.
Detroit is balling right now. Let me not slander Detroit right now. They're balling,
Hey,
right? They're not gonna play him. They're not gonna play them in Washington. Like nobody, they don't care about those
Charlotte.
games
yeah.
in Charlotte. So they're doing that on purpose because they see the value in keeping them long term, and so it makes them more money as
I
a
don't-
franchise.
I don't care.
That's what they think about.
I
So
don't
if
care.
you take that part out of the game, then you'll see them playing more. It'll be the norm. But there's a lot of the times it's not these players that are choices that they want to sit out. It's the organization.
And for the organization, it's about money.
Yeah,
So
Exactly.
you're right. It's,
I had
you're
one more
gonna get
thing. One more thing to notice. The great players often are still can play a long time, unless they get hurt. So, for example, Jordan was playing at 40. Jordan was still
yeah,
a
but Jordan
great.
took seasons off.
But wait,
Yeah, no.
Carmelo was playing at 40. Carmelo was
Okay.
still dope before he came to Lakers. That season before, he was 39. He was like 20 and 10,
Yeah,
something
but
like
look
that.
at Shaq.
Shaq, 7-footers don't last. Period.
Look at Chuck.
That's not a thing. Chuck was 300 pounds coming into the league. He's not going to last either. Okay? You're giving bad examples, okay?
No, I'm giving examples of like it's not everybody.
No, I know it's not everybody, but I'm saying people who have longevity, they're going. It's not about the era. If you just have that in you, you're just going to have that. Period.
Yeah.
I don't think that's changing with the era. Because if you look at the era, it's not everybody's playing as good as LeBron James, so they're 40. It's LeBron James playing as good as LeBron James, so they're 40.
All right. Are we about to close out? Because I got
Yeah.
one. I got
Go
one
ahead.
question. Who y'all got for the finals?
If I have my way, Lakers Celtics, and it can be Boston Celtics, Boston Tea Party, Boston Baked Beans, Lakers in 5.
Agreed. Yeah, either Lakers, Celtics, or Lakers and the Cavs. That's a big good storyline. I don't think the Cavs are
Y'all
going to
think
make
the
it
Lakers
out.
gonna take it out the West?
Actually,
Man,
I,
I want the Lakers.
I want them
to.
to, but
That's
I
what I
believe
want.
I
I
believe
think the
OKC is a
Thunder,
better
yeah.
team.
and I'm also low key kind of still afraid of the Joker.
That's what I'm saying. I'm sorry. I'm still.
I'm not
looking
that
at-
scared.
I'm
I'm
still
not.
looking
I'm
at
actually not
Denver.
that scared of Denver.
I'm not that scared of OKC. I
Forget
know that. I know
Denver.
they got the
Nah,
West
I'm
by
saying
12
the
games.
Joker.
They got the West by 12 games, but they was number
And you know
one
what?
last
I'm
season.
low key a little worried about Houston, man. Houston's a tough team.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. I didn't see that coming.
Houston, they're young, so they don't get tired, and they play good defense.
It's the league is
And they're
upside down right now.
fast.
There's a lot of teams that growing up, we was like them teams is trash. Them teams is balling right now. 'Cause,
Not
like,
the Hornets.
Cavs, right now.
Yeah, not the Hornets.
Not the Hornets.
That's
Some
gonna stay
things stay the
consistent. They never
same.
change. Some things never change, man.
All right,
Hornets
man.
trying to get man.
I'm done with that. That was good.
All right, y'all. Well, it's been a great episode back. Hopefully, you guys enjoyed a little bit of conversation today. Lighthearted show. For the most part,
It got
I
deep
guess.
last
it got
week.
It got deep last week.
We got
But yeah,
deep today with the incels.
true. It did a little bit. You know,
Don't watch
so-
that show.
Yeah, don't watch it. Don't watch Adolescence.
Adolescence.
Watch Severance.
And love
Way better
Jesus.
show.
Watch Severance because we want to go talk about Severance.
We're gonna talk about Severance
As
after
soon as
this
we hang up
podcast
this
goes.
Watch
Yeah.
Severance and love Jesus.
Absolutely,
Yeah, they don't love Jesus on Severance though.
they don't. They
love
need
Kier,
to. Yeah,
and that's the problem.
They're praising.
That's the
They're
problem.
praising Kier. That's the wrong person
Yeah.
to praise.
That's it.
Mhm.
I solved Severance.
That's what's wrong with them.
All right, y'all.
All right,
Come on,
y'all. We
let's
love
get
y'all. Peace. About to go eat some blasphemous.
Blasphemous bacon
Blasphemous
wings.
bacon
They're not
wings.
blasphemous. They're glorious.
name
Yeah, that's right. We're gonna
Amen.
rename them in Jesus' name.